Flocktopus is a really strangely designed yokai. There are two cephalopods in this design, and I'm not quite sure which one is actually Flocktopus. It could be the one in his head, the purple one, or a collective name for both creatures. Anyway, Flocktopus isn't a yokai you see people talking about much, but in competitive he plays a very unique role. First, his skill, Tangle Up. There are 3 yokai with this skill, and for some reason they all have different names. Flocktopus, Nunchucky, and Infema all have these skills. The difference between these two and Flocktopus is that Flocktopus is C rank, so you can build around him much more easily. Infema still sees some fair bit of usage, but Flocktopus actually has around the same strength stat as Infema, so it's not too much of a loss. Speaking of, Flocktopus' stats aren't amazing, but they are usable. Around 140 strength is good paired with his skill. He has slightly above average HP and over 100 speed, but his defense and spirit aren't exactly something to praise. They don't matter too much though. Next is moveset. We'll ignore the fact that his spirit sounds suspiciously like what teenagers do in their free time, and instead focus on his attack and soul ultimate. His attack is fine, 110 base power is about average. Yokai with skills like Flocktopus that activate on physical hit usually have a weirdly low base power physical attack. As well as this, his soul ultimate is pretty cool. It hits all 3 opponents without even having to line them up on the grid. It's got super low base power of soul for its ultimate, being only 40, but as well as it hitting all opponents' yokai, it also knocks them forward by 1 tile. So from what I've said so far, you could probably pick up what Flocktopus is used for, and it's a really unique playstyle. Flocktopus is great at fucking with the opponent's grid. This pairs well with the item Blow Away Soul, which will always knock the target back a tile. This and the soul ultimate both trigger Tangle Up, so it causes even more fuckery. This pairs with a lot of yokai, but the ones it pairs with the best are the ones that can really make use of specific tile placement. Bitter Barter can work with this to get more hits with his hazards. You can knock them into hazards, you can get them in spirit, or you could get an in spirit off and knock them in place on the hazard. Brutal works with this since he also has hazards, and his whole style revolves around being directly in line with the yokai he is going for. Keeping them in place a little longer with Flocktopus could be potentially really powerful. Cloudzilla and his family all have a built-in Blow Away Soul as their skill, and their ultimates all knock the 3 opposing yokai in a random direction, as well as doing weak earth damage. Yokai like Phoenix, Lionheart, and Wobblewalk with powerful hard hits ultimates benefit highly from this. Finally, Spirit can add even more move time to the opponents just to be a slight bit more annoying. Flocktopus is a key part of teams that enjoy grid fuckery. There isn't really much else to talk about here, he's just a solid yokai that makes a lot of yokai's jobs easier. How do you use Flocktopus? Do you enjoy his design? Let me know in the comments and have a good day.